Hey everyone, Mr. Cohen here, School Counseling Director. I'm here to talk to you for a few minutes about the upcoming SOL testing that's going to take place in January and all the things that we want to make sure you know. All right, so the first question is who is going to be taking the SOL test in January? All students that are in Algebra 1 or Algebra 1 Part B, Biology, English 11 this semester are going to be taking the SOL test in January. All ninth graders who are also in Honors Geometry or Algebra 2 this semester are going to be taking the SOL test. The majority of the students in World History 1 and Earth Science will be taking the test, but only a few students in Geometry, Algebra 2, World History 2, US History, and Chemistry will be taking the test. We also have some students who are going to be retesters. Those are students who probably passed the SOL class last year, but maybe didn't take the test or maybe didn't pass the test, or they're students who just transferred to Indian River High School and came from out of state or from a private school, and they need to take a couple of SOL tests with us. So those are going to be the people that are going to be SOL testing. And of course, if you pass the SOL test already, you won't have to take it again. All right, so here is the testing schedule. Your teachers may have shown this to you. We are going to be giving the History SOL test on January 13th, the Science SOL test on the 14th, the English Reading test on the 20th, and the Math SOL test on the 21st. You can also see that we have some remediation boot camps on designated days if you want to get some extra assistance before taking the SOL test, and your teachers will go over that. Now, on these days, the 13th, 14th, 20th, and 21st, the only people who are reporting to school on these days are students who are either taking an SOL test or going to one of the remediation boot camps. Everybody else is going to stay home, and it's going to be an asynchronous day in the morning. And then at 1 o'clock, we are going to have live instruction. So it's going to turn into a synchronous day at 1 o'clock. For students who are still in the building, you will actually go to your classes starting at 1 o'clock. Each class will last about a half an hour. Or if you're working from home, you'll just log on with your Chromebook to your different classes at the times designated. We do get a lot of questions about, can I just take my SOL test from home? That is not an option. The state of Virginia and the Virginia Department of Education does not allow SOL testing from home. All right, the next couple slides are going to talk about expectations. The first thing is, students, if you're in an SOL class, you should know if you are testing or not. You need to know what day you're testing and where you're supposed to report to. If you do not know this information, please talk to your SOL teacher and he or she can clarify this information for you. Also, we need all students who are going to be testing to report to school by 9 o'clock on testing days. You can either ride the bus to and from school, or you can have a ride drop you off and then pick you up later. Totally fine, but the buses will be running on all testing days. If you want to attend one of the remediation boot camps, you need to let your teacher know so that he or she can sign you up. You also need to know where to report to, where the remediation boot camp is going to take place when you get to school on that particular day. On testing days, as I mentioned, you can either ride the bus or get a ride to and from school. We need you to report directly to your testing room no later than 9 o'clock in the morning. And of course, if a bus is late, that's fine. Just report whenever you get here. If you're going to be testing in the cafeteria, look for a sign on the table that has your teacher's name and what block you're in. And that way we keep all of one class kind of in the same area of the cafeteria. Please make sure you bring your school-issued Chromebook fully charged to school. If for some reason you don't have a Chromebook, please let your SOL teacher know and he or she can take account and let me know. But we need everybody to bring your Chromebook with you on testing day fully charged. If you don't do this, we may not have a Chromebook for you to test. Also on testing days, these are just reminders that you should already know, but you cannot have any electronic devices on your body and they have to be turned off. So that means cell phones, smartwatches, earbuds, AirPods, all of that has to be turned off, and you cannot have any of this in your pockets. So everything needs to be taken out of your pockets, put on the ground underneath your chair, and make sure it's turned off. Even if it's not on you, but it's turned on and it goes off during testing, that's going to be a problem. Also, when you open your Chromebook, do not log in as yourself. For testing, you're just going to open your Chromebook and you're going to look at the bottom left and there's going to be a little apps button. You're going to click on the apps button and you're going to click on the TestNav app. And then if a state pops up and it asks you what state, you're going to pick Virginia. We're going to have adults in the room with you to help you with this, but the main thing is please do not log in as yourself with your school information on your Chromebook on that day. During testing, remember there's no talking during testing. You should not be sleeping during testing. If you don't feel well, if you feel sick that day, please stay home. We will have makeup days. If you get to school and you're like, I'm ready to take this test, and then right before testing you have a headache, you have a stomach ache, or you don't feel good, or you forgot that you have a dentist appointment in a half an hour, please do not log into the test. We would rather you just take the test on a makeup day. If you are caught cheating or even attempting to cheat, we will investigate and you will not be allowed to continue with the test at that time. If your cell phone goes off or you're caught with it on your body, you will not be able to continue with the test right away. So that means even if you put your phone underneath your chair, but you forget to turn it off and your phone goes off during testing, that will be a problem. The cutoff time for all testing is 3:45 p.m. There's no exceptions or extensions. Every once in a while, I'll have a student say, hey, Mr. Cohen, can I just come back tomorrow and finish the test? That is not an option, so please make sure you pace yourself throughout the day. Remember, you cannot wear a hoodie or a hat on your head during your test, and you should not bring any study materials with you. When you are done with the SOL test, we need you to raise your hand and a faculty member will come over and assist you with submitting your test. Please do not submit your test by yourself. We want a faculty member right there beside you. We also need you to turn in all scratch paper when you are done with your test. You cannot take any scratch paper out of the testing room. And also remember that you should never talk about the SOL test, what questions you saw on the test, and certainly you should never post anything on social media about the SOL test. When you leave the SOL testing room, you can report directly to the auditorium to wait for your ride, or if you're going to be with us all day, you can just wait for lunch, which is going to be around noon, and then you're going to report to your classes at 1 o'clock, or you can report directly to the attendance office across from the main office and you can sign out, and that is, of course, if you have a ride ready to go. There are going to be lunches if you stay for the full day, and of course there's no charge for lunches. Students will start reporting to their classes at 1 o'clock for all 4 classes on those days, and each class will last about 30 minutes long. Thank you very much. I appreciate you watching this video. We will see you on testing days, and please ask your teacher if you have any additional questions about SOL testing.